Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Post Review Friday. If you are new to my channel, every Friday I do a segment on my channel where I talk about a kit that I have finished. Obviously if I have one to talk about. Sometimes Fridays are different videos, but for the most part you can count on Post Review Friday videos. So today we're going to be talking about this particular kit, which I think was my first finish for August of 2023, I think. I'm feeling like all of my kits are like muddling together, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one I did this month. So this is Coastal Window from Diamond Art Club. The artist is Nan, and it's a 55.8 centimeter by 42.6 centimeter round drill. So here is an image of the artwork. This came out, I think maybe in like the spring of this year, and as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted it. I think it was the spring of this year. It doesn't really matter. But I knew that this is like my sweet spot for summer kits. I love images that are like have an ocean background and then there's like some type of focal point. I'm seeing that I have a lot of shadows, so I apologize for that. But anyway, so yes, as soon as I saw this kit, I knew I wanted to work on it this summer. It's so beautiful. It's such a great size too. I'm finding myself just really drawn to these smaller kits because I don't know, the really, really big, massive kits just aren't doing it for me lately. I'm loving this like 40 something by 50 something or 50 by 70, like I'll push it to, but this just is so much more manageable than those really big kits that I was working on for a while. That doesn't mean I won't be working on really big kits because I do have a couple coming up, but I'm really enjoying this smaller size. Anyway, I actually thoroughly enjoyed working on this kit. Now, I talk about Diamond Art Club kits a lot on my channel just because I do a lot of Diamond Art Club paintings, and I have mentioned that I haven't really been super happy with the poured glue, and I've kind of been iffy about their round drills. And I'm not saying that those, like, I don't want to call them concerns because I feel like some of that is just a personal preference. But I feel like they're starting to alleviate from my experiences, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. So sure, there were still a couple of spots that I was like, not too crazy about that section of poured glue, or that color isn't so great, but overall that it wasn't like a big damper on my experience. I thoroughly enjoyed working on this kit, which is nice because I do feel like working on Diamond Art Club paintings is like coming home for me in terms of diamond painting. You know, like I often will try another company or, you know, I'll give a different type of kit a try, but for whatever reason, I always come back to Diamond Art Club. And obviously it's because I do enjoy them. However, I feel like you can enjoy something and still be like, didn't really love that. It doesn't mean I don't like the experience. It's just maybe at that moment, it wasn't what I had been hoping. In saying that, this one was definitely an improvement for me. Now, this is relatively new-ish in my stash. Like I said before, I think this came out in the spring of this year, so it hasn't been sitting around too long, but I did really enjoy it. Now, I will say that in saying I enjoyed the size, I do think that this could have been larger. I think that there are certain spots, like, is this supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be lavender because it's blue. I'm not sure what these blue like sprigs are supposed to be, but I feel like if this was larger, there would just be a little bit more details in some of the flowers because I feel like these look kind of clunky in some spaces. Because if you look in the artwork, you can actually see like the petals, and this just looks really pixely to me. So I do feel like if this had been larger, like maybe if they had stretched this like, I don't know, a 52 by 65, yes, it would have been larger, but I think you would have gotten some more of the detail. One thing that I really did enjoy about this kit was it was a really great mix of color blocking and confetti. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that that's kind of my ideal kit. I do enjoy large sections of color blocking, which if you're new to diamond painting, color blocking is when you have an area of all the same color and you can just like fly through it with a multi-placer, or even if you're single placing, it's just a lot easier because you're not switching colors out all the time. But then some of these flowers, there was a little bit of confetti in them, which confetti is when you're changing colors, you have like just a couple of each color in the section. So I did feel like this was a pretty good mix of both, which I really enjoyed. I would say it leaned a little bit more on the color blocking side than the confetti side, which is fine for me. Something else that I don't want to say that like I questioned it, because I can see in the artwork how that they would have come to that. But if you look at this particular flower over here, it leans very blue and it leans very colors of the water, which again, looking at the image, you can see that. Like you can see how there's like some blues in there. So obviously like the reflection off the window or just the light in general, something is pulling in some of that blue. I just think that if you look at the painting, you can see it's like a really light blue. And I know there are some of like the white colors that give off like a slight blue or a slight green. I feel like if it had just been some of that rather than all of the shades of the ocean here, I think that that would have come across a little bit better. It just looks a little bit off to me. I don't hate it. It just looks a little bit weird in my opinion. You can see that there's some blue kind of throughout some of these white flowers, which is fine. I just feel like this one got a little caught up in the ocean colors that are off to the side here. Other than that, I'm just taking a quick look here. I do feel like the shells came out really well. I think you can tell that like the vase filler is seashells. They look a little bit funky, but I think the ones on the table here came out really nicely. I will say that this is supposed to be one of these blue flowers that is up here, and it just looks a little bit off, like if you look in the image. But to me, this looks like a watercolor painting. I don't know for sure. I don't follow this artist, but translating watercolor paintings to diamond painting can be quite difficult. So that's what I'm going with. I think it's just a little bit off in some areas, and I think that's just because of the medium of the art itself. But I absolutely love it. I think the artwork is gorgeous, and I think this came out pretty spot on to the painting, excluding those few little things that I mentioned. But all in all, I think if this had been larger, we would have gotten some more detail, and I think some of those things that I was a little bit nitpicky about, I think would have just been better if it was larger. Let's talk about the drills. I used my Craftmate lockable for these ones. Now, these drills were absolutely atrocious for static. Although I am happy to report that I'm currently working on a Diamond Art Club, and there was no static in that one when I kitted it up. So I think that one's like a newer, yeah, that one's like a newer-ish release. So maybe the kits between this one and the one I'm working on have kind of solved some of that static issue, but this one was horrible to get up. But I just put dryer sheets in all of my containers, and then they were fine to work with from there. I had plenty of every color. I did not think that I was going to run out of anything, which is pretty much the standard for me with Diamond Art Club. There are times where I run out of drills, but for the most part, when I'm working on a kit from them, I know I'm going to have the drills that I need. Now, as far as trash, let me grab my tray. Okay, so here is my trash for this kit. Now it's pretty much standard for me at this point with the round kits from Diamond Art Club. The trash seems to be, the drills just have tiny little pinholes in the top. I can't see what you guys are seeing. So hopefully you guys can see that, but there's just little pinholes in the top. That just, to me, seems to be what the trash generally is from them. I didn't have really anything else. And it's really not isolated to one particular color. I'm working on, like I said before, a Diamond Art Club now, and all of the white drills are awful. So something was just up with that batch, I'm assuming. Whereas this is just pretty random. You know, every once in a while you just get a cruddy drill, and that's what we've got there. So I don't think that there's anything awful about the trash for this kit. For the size, I think that's a fine amount. But in terms of trash drills for me, it matters more of, do I have enough drills? I don't really care about trash until I've run out of a color, and then I'm kind of like, oh, something's going on here. So we'll see if that happens on my current kit. Okay, so that's the painting itself. Those are the drills. My thoughts on this kit. I do think that this one is still available. I don't think this was a limited edition. Was it? Do I have my iPad? I do. I don't think this was a limited edition. Let's see. Diamond Art Club app. Maybe this was a limited edition. Coastal. Is that what this is? Coastal window, yes. Oh no, it's still there. So it's still available, but it's currently out of stock. Oh my gosh, I was so wrong. This came out on my birthday. This was not available in the spring. This came out Black Friday last year. So November 25th. Gosh, oh my gosh, this year has gone by so quickly. Okay, anyway, that doesn't matter. So still available, just currently out of stock. So definitely sign up for email notifications if you're interested. Let's talk about my accessories for this particular kit. My tray is from Add More Zest. I have a couple of these. I don't tend to reach for them just because I find them very shallow, but it was fun to work with one. Rebecca is the owner of Add More Zest. She was one of the first diamond painting people I found on YouTube, so I had to, of course, support her when she started her own business. My cover minder is one of the Diamond Art Club seashell minders. My pen is from Miss Creations by Danny. This is a polymer clay pen. Some of my favorites that are available. She has an Etsy shop. They're very, very affordable. She actually just did a new drop, and I picked up 2 more pens because I find them really comfortable. And I actually used the new Diamond Art Club multi-placer. So I have had their single placers. I enjoy them. I was really excited to see their multi-placers because I'm not the biggest fan of metal tips. So I've tried everlasting tips. I have tips from Patriotic Team, which unfortunately they don't make them anymore. I would say that the Patriotic Team ones were probably my favorite on the market, but again, they don't make them anymore. And then I've tried the like cheaper version that you can get on Amazon. I've tried the ones that some of the other pen shop sells, and I've just never been a big fan. I feel like you have to use a lot of wax or putty in them. I find them to be kind of bulky. They're just not my favorite. So I was really excited to see when Diamond Art Club released theirs. I will say I'm a pretty hard presser with my drills, and while I don't feel like this is gonna break, because it's definitely not, I mean, like, this is pretty sturdy, I do get a little bit nervous with how thin like the little barrel is. But I actually really enjoyed this. It's very, very thin, and I would be really interested in seeing them offering these in some larger sizes. This is the 6 placer, but I would call this a 7 placer. I feel like most of the drills that I was picking up, I was able to get 7. So all in all, I did enjoy this. I would be interested in picking up some more. I was talking to Bree about them, and she says that she prefers them with square drills. So I'll definitely have to give that a try on my next square kit. But first kit using it, I really did enjoy them. And then my putty for my multi-placer was the Tropical Vacation from Painting with Pitties. And I used a couple of micro glue dots in my single placer. So that is this kit. Again, this is Coastal Window from Diamond Art Club. It is a round drill. It's a 55.8 by 42.6, and it was my first finish for the month of August. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know if you've worked on this kit or if it's on your wish list, because if it's not, it should be, because I really did enjoy working on it. With that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.